Have you ever found it really hard to rest, to slow down and take the space to relax? Maybe you've heard a million times how important self-care is. And you know when you go to that yoga class or whatever kind of relaxation it is, afterwards you feel good. And you know, I really need more of this, but I don't have the time. I'm just so busy. Everything else takes a priority. And then sometimes when you do give yourself finally the rest, you have maybe that hour or two just to yourself, you find it hard to relax. So you go to the phone, you start scrolling, or you start thinking, I should really keep myself busy with other things, because this guilt starts to come up that if you're not busy, you're not getting things done, then you're just being lazy or you're not doing enough, and everyone will find out that you're this lazy, bad person. Today, I'm going to share what's really behind this and how we can heal. First thing is that rest looks so different for all of us. It's not this one size fits all thing that rest means, oh, you need to go sit on your meditation cushion and just do nothing. This can feel really unrestful for a lot of people. But rest is really about what nourishes you based on how you are designed. You have to know who are you and what are your specific needs that fuel and pour energy back into you. Because a lot of the times we are pouring a lot of energy outside of us through what we do, through the actions we're taking, through the people we're involved with. We're pouring a lot of energy out, which is not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. But also, to create balance, we need the energy to also pour back into us so that we have the fuel, our cup is filled, and we have an abundance of energy to give, not just from a place of lack that we're giving everyone around us just these like leftover scraps and we're running on empty. Now, for this, when you are able to take the rest, then you know what kind of rest is the one that actually nurtures you. And if that's something that you love help with, it's something that I work on with clients, where I design a specific self-care plan, detailed and designed for your specific energy so that it works for you. Now, when we talk about rest, why does it feel so difficult? Why does it feel so uncomfortable when you get there? The biggest thing is there's a belief there. And the underlining belief that is at the root of this, beyond the surface, because on the surface level, you might say to yourself, I don't have enough time. I'm too busy. I have to get all these things done. People are relying on me. If I don't do this, I'm a bad mom, I'm a bad employee, I'm a bad boss, etc., etc. Those are the surface level things that you'll tell yourself. But what is actually deep down at the root of this is a belief that you are not good enough. A core belief that I'm not good enough, so then I need to keep doing all these things to prove that I am worthy, to prove that I am good enough. Because when I do, then I can finally rest. But what happens is it's kind of a circle. It's a very vicious circle, because no matter how much you do, no matter how much you achieve, no matter what you accomplish, it's never quite enough. And so you keep going until you can't keep going, until your body starts giving you signals that it's too much. If you want to know what those signals are, you can watch my other YouTube video about how to know when your body is screaming that it needs a break. Now, when we talk about this belief, the feeling of not good enough, this is not actually you. It's not your true self. This is not how you were born with that belief. You didn't come onto this planet just thinking, I'm not good enough. This is something that was absorbed by you, taken in based on past experiences, upbringing, things that you saw, things that you learned, things that people perhaps told you, things that just started to come into your body based on what you were experiencing. And that means that it's not truly you. How we know if something is truly ourselves versus not is when you say it, notice how your body feels. So if you close your eyes now and you keep repeating that phrase, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. Notice how your body feels. Does it feel tense? Does it feel tight anywhere? Does it feel heavy? How does it feel in your body? And then take a breath in and take a breath out and start saying, I am good enough. 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 Notice how this feels in your body. Do you feel more light, more expansive, more joyful? Just noticing the differences between the two. These are signs of our body showing us what is truly ourselves versus what is not ourselves. Your not self is not going to feel good. It's going to feel heavy and really hard, just like the I'm not good enough story does. Whereas I'm good enough, when you say that story and that starts to fill your body, your true self, it starts to open, it starts to expand, it starts to feel really good. These are the signs from our body. Now, this root belief, it's ingrained, and when it is at the root, it starts to influence everything that you do and how you do it. So oftentimes you're doing things from a fearful state. So you are, for instance, saying yes to things that you really want to be saying no to. Why is that? It's not because you're saying yes because you genuinely want to do those things. You're saying yes because there's a fear of, what if they find out that I'm bad? What if they find out that I'm not good enough? So in order for them to not find out, I need to just say yes. I need to keep proving myself and keep doing all the things and showing up as this perfect, really good person to make sure that everyone knows that I am good enough. But when that yes comes from fear, your energy is showing what is really happening. So in this example, let's say you might say yes to this thing, but you go and on the inside, you feel resentful, you feel angry, you feel annoyed and frustrated. You don't actually want to be there. That is causing a mismatch between what you said. You said yes, but your inner self is like, no, I don't want to do this. And what happens when you have that mismatch is your energy starts to drain and get depleted because it's not in alignment. Alignment would mean that your body is saying, yes, I really want to do this. And then your verbal, your mind is also saying, yes, I would like to do this. It's in alignment, so both feel good. And what happens then when it's in alignment? Your energy starts to raise. So even the emotions of joy, happiness, and content and love starts to come in. And that energy, those emotions create a frequency. That frequency attracts a higher vibration of experiences, people, environment to you because you are in alignment. Now, in the other situation, like I mentioned, where we say the mind says yes, but the inner self is like, I actually really don't want to do this, but I'm trying to be good enough. That's like the core, what's underneath. Well, what's happening is there's a mismatch of energy. It's like out. So your energy starts to go lower because you're operating at a lower frequency. Your emotions will be resentment, anger, frustration. Those are at a lower level running in behind the scenes. People can feel this. People know. It's like when you go to an event and you can see who wants to be there and who really doesn't without them saying a word. People can read your energy. And that's a whole different topic. But it's very interesting because it all comes from this core belief of not being good enough. And when this is running on the background, you can already see how this is affecting your energy. Why then as well, you start to feel depleted, and then you keep going and operating out of this way, but it's actually causing you to not have any energy to give. It's causing you to go further down, and then it's almost like the best example I can give is like you're swimming upstream. The riverbed is swimming, like the water is going one way, but you're trying to go against it. And so it's taking you 3 times as much energy to do certain things because you're trying to swim upstream rather than go with the stream and go in an aligned way where your energy can really work for you. Now, how do we heal this? This core wound affects so many different things of our lives. And the first step is always awareness. So I truly believe that you're watching this video because you're meant to be here. You're hearing these words as a need that your body called for. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. I don't believe that you're here watching by accident. You're here because you are ready to have this awareness and your body is ready for change. You know that it's time for something different. When you start to have that awareness, you want to start doing the inner work, which is asking yourself, where did this belief come from? Where did I get it? And checking in on how many areas of your life is it running the show? How is that feeling in your body? Journaling is a great way to write out this and start to get clarity and uncover what is really happening. Without the awareness, change cannot happen. When you have the awareness, then everything starts to open up differently. You start to see things differently. You start to notice what's happening, and then help gets sent to you, whether it's through a book, through a podcast, through a video, through a coach, through a mentor. However it comes in, it will come to you then because you are ready finally to bring it in and create that change step by step. Once you have the awareness and you start to do the inner work, ask yourself, is this belief true? And how is it serving me? So everything that we do, it's serving us in some way. So let's use the example of saying yes to something that you actually want to say no. How is that serving you? It may be serving you because it's filling a need of not having to speak up, not having to deal with any kind of outside not being liked. And it feels more safe for you to say yes because then your body feels safe. You are more protected. You don't have to go through the discomfort of not being liked, of potentially losing connections, of potentially having to have a very difficult conversation. And so it feels more safe to say yes. But the more you do this, the more further you get from your true self. The more disconnected you get, the lower your energy goes. So when we look at this and you start to have that awareness, you start to open this door, we can start to look at how can I heal my body so that it feels safe, so my nervous system feels safe to go into this direction where I'm actually being true to myself. I'm actually speaking up directly no thank you to something I really don't want to go to or something I don't want to do. And that level of safety from the body comes in so many different ways. I work on that somatically with my clients. So if you're interested in that, definitely check out the description below. And as well, there are modalities like yoga, which is so supportive. You can as well check out my membership for that online, as well as meditation, as well as working with the body on a deeper level that you can understand what's happening and start to heal the parts that feel blocked. So, for instance, in this case, your throat may be blocked from speaking up. That means that that area in your body has been blocked at a certain period of your life. And so when it comes time to say the words no or speak up that you don't want to do something, it feels like your throat is like on a chokehold. Like you want to say it, but it's only until after the event that all of a sudden you're like, oh, I should have said that, or I could have said this, but during the time you couldn't. It's because your body didn't feel safe. So in those cases, the most important is to bring your body into safety and into grounding. That is something I highly recommend to work with a professional on if it is something that you notice, okay, I do get triggered in this area. Because the more that we can start to feel safety in the body, we feel more grounded in ourselves, the more present we can be, and the less we are giving in to the emotional reactions that may happen through being triggered, and more we are being present to actually respond in the way that we want to respond to. So checking in, if you'd like to do this on your own, what makes my body feel safe? What makes my body feel grounded? And then starting to incorporate those into your daily rituals. The more safe and grounded your body feels, the more safe it is to rest, whatever rest looks like for you. And then the body can come into balance and harmony. The other thing with being able to rest is as well accepting that even though, and you can look at this by looking at everything you've accomplished in the past, was it ever enough? One thing I like to check in on is how in the future, when I have accomplished something, how do I want to feel? When you accomplish your goal, how do you want to feel? Do you want to just have it done, and then even if you in the meanwhile ruined relationships or had so much struggle or burnt yourself out and your health now is really impacted, and then but you got to that end point, is that okay for you? So for some people it completely is, and that's true for you. Great. But check in. How do I want to feel at the end of this goal? If you want to achieve the goal and also feel proud of yourself and feel at peace with yourself and feel very balanced and healthy with yourself, then the approach needs and requires rest to get there. It requires the balance. When you know what your end goal is, not just in what you want to achieve, but in how you want to feel, then backtracking that helps to create the balance that you need so you can feel safe in resting. I'm so excited to hear more about your journey. Please let me know in the comments below or send me a message letting me know how this has supported you, how this has started to impact your life and the way that you see rest. I cannot wait to hear from you and see you again in the next one. Bye everyone for now.